legend. Hello and welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV for the pre-match pump-up of Bournemouth versus Tottenham Hotspur. Jacob's not available midweek, so you're lumbered with me. I'm Kate from The Perfect Match, joined by Jimbo, also from The Perfect Match, the one and only legend that is Bobby K, and Jose from El Tel Cock-a-Rel. Jimbo, how you feeling?
Yes. Good, confident. We won't lose. We will walk away with 3 points. The weather's terrible up there, by the way.
It's terrible here. I don't know if you can hear the wind. We got a weather warning for rain and gale force winds and all sorts. It's horrible.
I'm in my lovely cosy front room. I'm happy.
And you've got your lucky shirt on.
Never lost.
We're still not lost since you've had that shirt. So, Bobby K, how are you, my lovely?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Why are you sounding so sad?
Because it's game day, baby! Let's get this shit going! Come on!
I was a bit worried there. I thought, oh no, what's happened? What's happened to Bobby? He's lost his mojo.
I was just prepping myself for just in case.
Good. Yeah. We've got Phil P. Look. Woo, 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 woo. And Mr. Jose, El Tel Cock-a-Rel, how the devil are you?
I'm great. I always am when it's game day, and today's no different. The weather a bit further down the coast might be a bit more blustery, but here we've only had a bit of rain here where I am in the coast, but I presume that further down they've got it worse by sounds of it.
I'm about to go into the backyard and send you pictures of my snow.
Have you got lots of snow in Canada, Bobby?
We just had I'd say about an inch yesterday, but it was the first proper snowfall on the road kind of thing, so it was enough to first snowfall always shows people they don't remember how to drive. So,
yeah, I hear you. It's the same. It's the same in this country. To be fair, yeah. Let's go, Jimbo. The Europa League trophy is back, and he still hasn't got it switched on. I swear to goodness, I don't know why I put my lamp there.
Because it's my trophy. I like it behind me, so everybody knows we're going to win the European League.
There you go.
It's my lamp.
It's not. It's my trophy.
Was.
Yeah.
Now it's his trophy. Like, come on, Kate. Sharing is caring. It's in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, someone's put. I love you lot. Always smiling. We try. We've got to pump you up at the end of the day.
Hey, Bobby, come on, man. You know we Bobbies are always happy people. We have no choice. Delusion is a great place to be.
Exactly. Look, it's not going to be an easy game, Jimbo. We dropped points at the weekend. Touching on that briefly, Fulham, a very disappointing performance all round, I would say. I don't know what your thoughts are on it. Can Tottenham bounce back?
What, from the Fulham game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit. I mean, look, I look at it. I try and look on the upside of it, right? The Fulham game, we didn't play well. We had some players that weren't performing. We still took a draw. We hit the post as well. It is what it is. Look, you can sit here and you can cry when you lose and you can cry when you draw, but it don't do any good. It don't change the result. So be upbeat and say we will come back and we will smash Bournemouth tonight. And then Saturday, we will smash Chelsea as well.
Oh, Sunday. My God, he's jumping ahead. Sunday, yeah, Jimbo, it's Sunday, Chelsea.
Sunday.
But we get the drift. Bobby, was you surprised that we only managed to draw against Fulham, or are you just riding the wave of inconsistency that Spurs are doing at the minute?
You know me, baby. You ride that wave and make sure the sun is smiling on the side that you're riding the wave on. It is what it is. We were missing a lot of key players as well. Our main defensive pairing is still missing. They did well once, and then they do poorly. It's the roller coaster of being a Spurs fan, right? It is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. Big up, Barry. Good to see you. So yeah, for me, you know me. I don't look backwards. I always look forward. And now we have to look forward to what's going to happen in an hour and 24 minutes from now.
Exactly. There's no point in looking back. Why are you looking so confused, Jose?
Confused?
Are you looking confused?
No, it must be the camera.
He's thinking.
It must be the camera.
Oh, okay.
Something's cooking up there. You know, Jose's always got something cooking up there.
Yeah,
That's why I love being on with him, because he makes up for my lack of knowledge.
Jose, obviously we dropped points against Fulham. Are you surprised? And can we bounce back tonight? What's your thoughts?
It's really is difficult because we've been up and down all season, and it was lackluster, weren't it, against Fulham? We just had no legs, we had no energy, we had no oomph about us at all. It's interesting because you listen to the professionals, and the professionals said they'll be all right tonight because they've had a 4-day break, but that's what they usually get, 4-day break. So it's going to be interesting. You know, we're not going to get away from the fact that we are down to bare bones now, really, because when we looked at our bench against Fulham, we had a lot of the youngsters there. For me personally, I hope that they've pepped up and got a bit more zest in them ready for tonight. I'd like to see changes for tonight, to be honest. Give other people a chance, give people a run out, because we've got another important game on Sunday. Every game's important, but for me, and I'm just going to be personal here, for me, Sunday is my biggest game of the season, because the team that I detest the most is the team we play on Sunday. I detest them more than our neighbours. That, for me, that's the biggest game, and it's become a big game over the years, and the rivalry between us has become big over the years as well, and it gets bigger and bigger every season that goes past. So yeah, tonight I'd like to say that we'll change up the lineup a bit, or because if you don't do it tonight, you're gonna have to do it Sunday. So when would you rather do it? Would you? I mean, I'll leave that to yourselves to answer. When would you rather change your team up, tonight or Sunday?
I mean, you saying that, we spoke briefly about it. Good luck on your chemistry
Good luck,
exam,
mate. Good luck.
Hamden. Yeah.
Good luck.
We spoke briefly this morning, Jimbo and I, about whether we would start Kulusevski back on the wing and maybe Madison in midfield along with Sarr and Basuma, or whether we would stick Johnson there. What do you think, Jose?
The first thing you just said was going back to the Man City lineup. Then,
yeah,
what you just first said is going back to the Man City lineup. But for me, Basuma looked flat. Sarr looked extremely flat, and you know, although he's a youngster, these players are being asked to do, you know, to play every game and have energy levels up in the, you know, up in the gods for every game, and unfortunately, it's not happened. I'm not sure. There's not much we can change in the forward three, apart from the one change you just mentioned of having Kulusevski instead of Brennan Johnson, because up top we've lost Odebert, we've lost Mikey Moore, we've lost Richarlison, so there's not much change we can make at the top. The other thing that we need to be wary about is Mr. Solanke, whether he can play against his old team tonight, because Mr. Solanke up until yesterday still hadn't trained and was ill, and he was still being assessed before today's game. You know, at the end, the fullbacks to me look knackered as well. You know, Doggy and Porro, they look really, really tired against Fulham. So I'm thinking, so do you change your fullbacks for tonight's game? And that means even bringing Reggie on in. To me, it's important because we've got Chelsea on Sunday, and then we've got Rangers the following week. These games come through thick and fast till the end of January, and if we keep throwing our players to the wolves, which is what we're doing at the moment, they're going to be knackered. They're going to be burnt out completely. We've got in the midfield, we've now lost Rodrigo with his ban, and so therefore the midfield people that we can select from, that's now been lessened as well. So, you know, somewhere along the lines, something's got to give. Now the fan base will turn around and say, you stick your strongest team out, and when we're not thinking about it, we say, yeah, we need to rotate. But then when it comes to the game day, everyone's like, nah, we've got to stick our best team out tonight. And you know, I just want to see energy tonight. If we get energy from our team, we'll get a performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby, I don't know what your thoughts are about possibly putting Kulu on the wing. There's also chance, possibly, you know, that Djed Spence gets to go. I don't know. Do you see him making any rotations tonight? You're muted, Bobby.
Yeah, I knew that. I was just checking to see if you noticed. Yeah, no, like Jose said already, we got a big game coming up as well on Sunday. That's the one that all of us, as fans, really want to win. This one, I don't think I want to say I'm willing to throw this game away for the sake of that one, but I definitely think we should be able to get something from both. We have to make changes because we have to have the biggest thing, like Jose said, energy. We can sit here and argue about what levels of skill people have and everything, but we all know that today a player can show up and be absolutely brilliant and we not rate him. And tomorrow he can show us his true form, which is kind of what happened with Dragusin and Ben Davies. Look how fantastic they were in the first game that we thought that, okay, these guys are going to cost us the game. They stepped us and we smashed away. And then we see something else, right? So like Jose's already kind of pointed out, it all comes down to what team is going to show up, what kind of desire they have, what kind of energy they have, what kind of passion they have. At the end of the day, the reason we sit here as fans and say that we want to see our best starting 11 out there is because we don't have faith in a lot of our subs, and that's kind of sad. But we're not going to start sitting here and arguing and pointing the finger at who's responsible for that, because at the end of the day, this is who we got to support. This is who's out there right now. This is who's wearing my badge, and this is who I'm going to get behind. Whatever 11 he puts out there are the ones that he's going to feel are the ones that can get the job done. So I'm going to feel confident about that. I'm going to keep faith in Ange. I'm going to hope that he's steering the train in the right direction, and we got to hope that they learn from their mistakes. Roma, a little bit disappointing, and then disappointment again with Fulham. So this is their opportunity now to step up and show that, look, we do have more desire in us and more fight in us, and that's really what I want from my team. I just want to see an effort. I just want to see that passion. I want to see them go out there and just say, you know what, regardless of what happens, everything we have in us is going to be left out here after 90 minutes. I don't care if EMS and the ambulance guys and all the sporting, the specialists and whatever those medical people have to drag the players off the field because they're that dead at the end of the game. That's all I ask. And if that's too much to ask, well, then I'm a greedy prick. I don't know what to say.
Jimbo, there's a lot of chat about whether Solanke's going to play. He was spotted at the team hotel. I will be amazed if he doesn't play tonight. What do you think, Jimbo? Do you think he's going to start? Do you think he'll be on the bench?
I think he'll start him, and if he's struggling later on in the game, sub him. But I mean, when you look at it, we're not in bad shape. I know we've got some injuries, but we got the defence has done all right. Davies and Dragusin. The midfield's pretty solid. The midfielders we've got maybe a little bit short up front with the Pigeon out and Solanke not being too well. So, but we got Lancashire, so I don't think we're in bad shape, Kate. I expect to see a strong team tonight. Spence, we got as well. I mean, it can bring Spence in. Porro looked a bit tired the other day, so we got Spence. He's played well when he's come on.
If for instance, Solanke isn't fit and he doesn't play, is there an argument to bring Lancashire in, Jose? We spoke about him the other day. Do you think there's any possibility at all Lancashire could get a start if Solanke doesn't play?
If Solanke doesn't play, you can always put Kulu in as a false nine. Kulu can play
that over him on the wing.
Kulu goes in as a false nine, then that means Madison will play in midfield for you, along with Sarr and Basuma, and Johnson out right, Sonny out left. Because I'd rather that than play Sonny down the middle and Werner on the left. Because Sonny, for me, is ineffective playing in the 9. Where I think Kulu playing a false 9 would probably be a better option. But to me, I mean, I go back to what I said earlier. If the players are tired, swap it round, change up. Even if it's 1, 2, 3 players, just change it around a bit. Get some bit of pizzazz, a bit of oomph back in your side. And
Jose,
I keep going back to this.
Something. Just to cut you in there. What you said. Should they be tired after 13 games? And we have had some rotations.
Have we had? I don't think we've rotated enough, to be honest, Jim. And we've played more than 13 if you include all the cup games and that.
Yeah, but the cup games he's had a lot of the outsiders playing. I just think it's a bit.
Sonny not in the team.
Apparently he's on the bench.
Lineup is out.
The lineup's out. Yeah.
Yeah, Forster in goal. Then we've got Gray, Dragasine, Davies and Udogi, Sarbasuma and Madders in midfield with Kulu on the wing, Solanke and Johnson. On the bench, we've got Austin, Porro, Spence, Reglion, Bergvall, Luesi, or whatever his name is, Werner, Son and Lancashire. So Sonny is being rested for this game. Now, Sonny has a really good record against Bournemouth, but he's being rested. I don't know who was speaking then, who I interrupted. Was it you, Jim? Or
yeah, no, I just wanted to ask Jose if he, I mean, I struggle to see why they're tired after just like a third of the season. I do. I mean, because in the cup games and in Europe, he has been playing some of the fringe players.
I don't think he's rotated enough. If you look in Europe, he may have done the first 2 games. The next 3 in Europe, he hasn't rotated hardly anyone. And if you look at the team that played against Coventry, yeah, there was some rotation in that. But for me, there hasn't been enough rotation because the players that we've got, we didn't rotate enough, Jim, right? And then what's compounded the issue for me more is that since my belief that he hasn't rotated enough, we've then lost a whole load of players to injuries as well, which then means that rotation now going forward becomes less rotating. He's not rotating enough now, or it becomes more vital. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's got an opinion, but for me, we were completely flat against Fulham. There was no oomph. They seem to have no energy, no legs, nothing at all. Now, against Roma, in the second half against Roma, I felt that we were like that in the second half against Roma, and we carried that into the Fulham game. So that's 90 minutes plus 45 minutes. That's 3 halves of football where I felt that we were completely flat. Somewhere along the lines, we need to break that cycle, and I'm hoping that we do that tonight from the start of the game against Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fair to say Sonny has, although I don't think he's been terrible at all this season, he's not clinical in front of goal. No. I quite like the fact he's decided to rest Sonny and Porro ready for Chelsea on Sunday, because Chelsea's another team that Sonny likes to score against. Anything in that team that surprises you, Bobby? Or are you pleased with the lineup?
Just with Gray, I really am. I'm shocked because I thought Spence would get a crack finally. It'd be nice to have him in there. It'd get him some minutes and stuff. We know that Porro being out completely, I don't understand why he's not putting our natural replacement for Porro in. I don't know if this kid's done something in training that the manager's not happy with, but why we're forcing this midfielder to play out on the right back where we've seen him struggle at times kind of worries me a little bit, because I'm concerned that if we keep putting him out there and he keeps getting exposed, if his confidence starts to chip away, he's going to get more and more exposed, which leads to less and less confidence. So, you know, I'd hate to see us break this kid down before we unleash him. That's my only really big concern looking at this lineup.
I think right. I've got.
I was going to say, Kate, the Postecoglou keeps saying that Spencer's got a good attitude and he's training hard and he's ready to play, but he doesn't play him, so there's got to be an issue there somewhere.
Yeah, there has to be.
He's been given another contract, right? Yeah. Signed another contract, and the only reason why the contract's been given to him is for sell-on value later on down the line. Simple as. Because he's not playing him. So it must the contract that he was given must have been to try and get a higher bid when someone ends up coming in for him, because he's not getting the chance, is he?
No.
It's quite sad, because I think when I've seen Spence play, I think he's done well. And I have to say, Archie Gray isn't playing. Yeah. Archie Gray isn't playing in his preferred position. But I'm not entirely sold on Archie Gray yet. I've got to see more. I don't know if that's just me, but I'm not entirely sold on him. But I would have liked to see him in midfield. But there's definitely something not right with the whole Spence situation, because, like I say, Ange, he doesn't seem to want to play him. But this
is he just coming back from injury, though, or something?
Who?
He's just coming back, isn't he, Spence? He's just been fit for a few weeks, hasn't he?
I think he's been back for a few weeks already.
He's played since his injury. Yeah. Come on.
For me,
he hasn't started, though.
No, he come on against City, though.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if he's just not 100% even. Maybe that's part of it, right? We really will never know. We're just guessing, right? But
without Bentancur, he's going to be out, we know, till Forest, and he's available to play against Rangers next week. But for me, I said at the time, is Bissouma going to be at it for 7 games whilst Bentancur's away playing in that holding role?
Yeah.
And for me, the natural replacement for him or the rotation for him has to be Archie Gray. So for me, I'm kind of surprised that Archie's playing at right back tonight. I thought that Spence might have got the nod there and that Archie would be saved to be the legs to replace Bissouma. I can't. I
Yeah.
mean, unless something completely changes, I can't see Basuma getting 90 minutes out of Basuma because he's looked really lethargic in the last couple of games. Unless these guys are all taken, I don't know, caffeine tablets or something before today's game
Helium.
to perk them up because they were really off colour for the last game and a half. So,
but that being said, Jose, that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't this be an ideal time then to try to incorporate Spence into the team so that when we do need to remove Basuma, that we can have Gray go into that position?
That's what I would have thought. I would have thought that Gray, for me, Gray's a natural replacement as a 6 rather than being a right back. So therefore, if Basuma's not going to last the game, or you've got to rotate Basuma in the games coming up, I would have thought Gray would have been the rotational, and that's why I'm finding it weird that he's starting off at right back tonight. Now, if Porro needs the rest, which I'm not down, I think the Doggy and Porro needed a rest, to be honest, and I would have rested them both tonight. But I would have expected Djed to start instead of Porro. And maybe Gray. If Gray didn't get a start at the 6th, then Gray goes sub, but then he becomes a replacement for Basuma. They would have been my thoughts. But who am I? I'm just a supporter.
This is
So
the
we are, buddy.
Bournemouth lineup. We've got Kepa, Arrizabalaga in goal. Then Hodgson, I think that's right. Perkez. Oh, is that how you say it? Hussein?
Yeah.
Why isn't it spelled like Hussein then?
His dad was the Liverpool centre half back in the 90s. I don't know if you remember him, Jim. His dad was the Liverpool centre half, and Hussein is actually, his parents come from, I can't remember what country they come from, somewhere in Europe, but he's now Spanish international.
Okay. We've got Evan Nilsson, who for me has been a revelation so far since replacing Solanke at Bournemouth. You've got Christie, Adams, Smith, Tavernier, Cliver, who got 3 penalties at the weekend. Semenyo and Zabanye. Sorry, my glasses. I think I need new glasses.
He's a Ukrainian.
At least you got yours on. You three are smart.
Off.
I'm sitting here squinting at the damn screen. Who's that?
Anyone there, Jose, that worries you?
There's some good footballers in this team. So looking at this team, it looks like looking at the team. Right, let me go back. I have to look from here. Right, looking at the team, I expect them to go with Kirkes at left back, Hussein and Zabanye. So the right centre half will be Hussein, left centre half will be Zabanye. Attacking wise, they're going to have Evan Nilsson. Behind Evan Nilsson, they're going to have Semenyo, Cliver, Tavernier, and they may be playing 3. Well, they've got Tyler Adams, who's the American who got injured. He's been injured for quite a while since they bought him, and it looks like he's coming back to play. So he'll be the holding 6, if you want to call a holding player. It'll be Adams. They've got some good footballers, Kate, don't get me wrong, but every team in the Premiership has good footballers. And it's just about your game plan against their game plan and you nullifying their strengths and you exploiting their weaknesses. But they'll be trying to do that to us as well. This could be a game. Bournemouth will attack us. There's no doubt. They're at home. They will attack us. And it's up to us to see whether we can find space in behind them. And it's quite telling that you haven't got Sonny playing tonight because space behind, Sonny's one of the ones that can exploit space behind instead of people that defend deep against you and that. But, you know, it remains to be seen. But, yeah, every team's going to have good players in the Premiership. Doesn't matter who you are. But it's down to us to exploit it all.
Yeah, I agree. A few in the chat have said Semenyo is a good player, which I agree. Evan Nilsson, another one. Clivert's good on his day. Tavernier can be good. But I think, look, Bobby and Jim, whichever one of you wants to take it, Kepa Arrizabalaga. We've had so many laughs, or me and Jim have definitely had a lot of laughs about this guy when he played for Chelsea. I think he's a keeper that's well prone to make a mistake. With the team that we've got out against this team, surely we've got enough to beat them. Bobby, I'll go to you first.
I'm shocked you'd even ask us that question, Jim. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at you, Jim, right now, and I'm wondering why she would even ask out of all of us here right now. Does this team have any Spurs team that's ever put out there has enough in them to beat anybody out there? Tell them, Jim. Tell them why. Tell them why.
You know what, Kate? I understand why you ask Jose, but you ask me and Bobby this every week, and I told you against City that I wasn't bothered about any of their players. We are Spurs, the mighty Spurs. If we turn up, we win. It's as simple as that.
It's that simple, Kate.
I might as well just end the show there then, should I? So just finish it there.
Oh no!
Can I just say that this is a pump-up show?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is a pump-up show.
It is, exactly. Let's go.
You've also got to take into account we have been extremely inconsistent. We have looked shaky at times at the back. When I know Dragushin and Davies actually have been excellent, but Udogie's had moments this season where he's been a bit shaky. If Madison performs well, I think if Madison performs well, we win this game. I think that a lot of it's going to be won and lost in midfield. Jim, do you agree, or do you see other key areas that decided?
If we turn up, we win. It's as simple as that. Because they are going to attack us, right? And if we're on it, we will score a lot of goals. You know, so I'm not worried at all. Not at all. What their players? What they superstars? Of course they're not. No, they're good players, but they're not superstars. You know, we turn up, we win. This is the teams. This is the teams we need to beat. You know, if we're going to make an impression on the Premier League. So I'm very confident.
I was just
we
looking at
didn't turn up the last game, so we will turn up this game.
What was that, Bobby? Sorry.
Jim's right. The quad's still on.
Of course it is.
Still on. I was just looking because I was going to say it's strange because Timo Werner's not on the bench, but he is on the bench.
Is Spence on the bench?
It's Austin.
Sorry, who is on the bench?
Austin, Pedro Porro, Spence, Reguilon, Bergvall, Werner, Son, Lancashire, and that player that Jose always says, Aloisi as well.
Which is, do you know what? Bench wise, it's a stronger bench than what we had last week.
I agree.
I don't know how. I don't know what. I'd have to go back and look, but if memory serves me right, this is a stronger bench than what we had last week.
Yeah, we had three kids on it. Well, we got Solanke back, so Son's on the bench, so that's one.
Williams Barnett was on the bench as well, weren't he?
Correct. Yep, he was.
Hardy was on the bench.
Yeah, Hardy was on the bench. Big up, Nick, Lazy 8. Hope you're well. Although we don't like wishing injury on people, you naughty little devil. But yeah, Solanke, I did say I thought he'd play. Johnson, still getting a lot of criticism from Spurs fans. I'd just like to say as well, we've got 76 likes and nearly 600 in. And that's a disgrace.
That's unacceptable. That is.
It's totally
I don't know what's crazier, that number you just gave or asking me or Jim if we're going to win today or how we feel about the game.
This is true.
I really don't know. That's a question for the ages. Actually, you in the chat can answer. What was the crazier thing? The fact that all of you haven't hit the like button, or that Kate would ask me and Jim, the two most deluded Spurs fans she probably knows, if she thinks we're going to win.
Oh, my God, don't. Someone's no, Spence isn't injured. He's on the bench. Jim, as I was going to say, Johnson's still getting quite a lot of criticism from Spurs fans. I've seen it on YouTube. I've heard it on TalkSport. People ringing up saying he's nowhere near good enough. Yet he's scoring. He's our top scorer this season. What more has this kid got to do?
Well, he's just got to keep banging them in and making assists. And all the time he's doing that. People can say what they're like, but he's doing his job, you know. So, look, it scored again the other day. I don't see why it's getting criticism, Kate, because since that fiasco when he took all that abuse on online, he's absolutely picked up and he's done really well. He's one of the most improved players for me this season. So, I mean, I don't understand why they give him stick. I don't understand why they give him stick even if he's not playing well. You know, you should still get behind them. When they're not playing well and we're not doing well, that's when they need us the most.
DB says that he needs to cross and beat the defenders once in a while. I think people are harsh on Johnson. I'm not going to, he's not the greatest player in the world. But, I mean, am I being Jose? Because you're less biased than Jim and Bobby, so I'm going to ask you. Am I being too apathetic towards, or sympathetic, I don't know what the word is, but either way, towards Johnson? Is he not that good and I'm just being too kind?
Take away Johnson's goals this season, where would we be? Take his assists away, where would we be? At the end of the day, we keep crying out we want someone to score goals. We've got someone to score goals, but do you know what? He can't cross the ball. So he scores goals. Do you know what? He just gets tap-ins. So he scores goals. Do you know what? He can't defend. I mean, at the end of the day, what is it? We all cry out for the perfect player, but we haven't got perfect players. And there's not many teams that do have perfect players. This guy comes in off the wide. Tottenham have got a way of playing. My only criticism sometimes for him is that the no-look passing, i.e., where mechanically it's within in their heads that if they get past a player, they've just got to drill the ball in low. They don't look up to see whether there's a player there or not, and they tend to drill it low in the box, not knowing whether anyone's going to be there or not. So that my only, but he's still got time to learn that. Take your time, take that 20 seconds extra, take a touch, look up, then put the ball in the box. But he does what he's being asked to do. He's being asked to get into the box, on the end of things. And that's exactly what he's been doing. And he scores goals from it. So whatever he's doing, it's working. But it's still not going to be good enough for some people. Some people, like I said, I've given 4 examples of where people criticize him. And, you can have 4 different camps of people saying, yeah, but he don't do this. Yeah, but he don't do that. But he scores bloody goals. At the end of the day, all right, we're scoring goals from all around the pitch at the moment, which is good as well. We are finding it'd be a concern to me if we weren't finding goals, but we are finding goals, and he's found the most goals of an individual at a club. So, instead of keep hammering him, let's just support him. Let's just completely support him. And for me, Johnson is not a winger, right?
Yeah.
Johnson is a wide forward. Sonny isn't a winger. Sonny is a wide forward. We don't play with wingers. If we did that, then our formation would be different. We play a 4-3-3 with the 3 people being forwards, inside forwards, or being forwards that can rotate across the line. So when people keep saying, yeah, but he's a winger, he's not a winger. The only person that we got who really is a winger at the club, for me, is Odegaard. Odegaard is naturally a winger. Unless you're going to change his style of play and make him an inside forward, Odegaard's the only player that we've got up top that's a winger. Werner is not a winger. Werner is another one who's an inside forward. So, at the end of the day, people, I understand people's frustrations sometimes with Johnson, but you can't keep banging this drum against him because he keeps scoring goals. And if he doesn't stop scoring goals, then you've got something to say. So
for someone to say,
I'm
Johnson's
sorry, I've made some deluded comments over time, but Gaz, you didn't see Ndembele play, did you?
Mind you, that wasn't a case of blink and you'll miss it. He was there, he played that many times, but
that's how much of an effort he put in. You blink and you miss his entire effort and his entire career with us.
I do feel really sorry for Johnson because, like I say, it doesn't seem to matter what he does. I'm not saying that players should be not allowed to be criticised, but give the guy a break, for goodness sake. But Solanke, coming back to Bournemouth, are we expecting Bobby for him to make a big impact in this game? Because obviously he's going to want to score against his old club for sure.
There's a few reasons I want Solanke to score. One, the big one, I'll just say it. It's Joey Barton. For those you know. Okay. The second thing is I just want to see the guy start doing what we're paying him to do, and that is put the ball in the back of the net. I like the fact that the guy's work rate is tremendous. You see him hustling the entire game. He's dropping back. He's tracking back. And, I think that's what, going back a little bit here to the Johnson issue, that's what I think a lot of people have, where you got Solanke, who's 27 or 28 now?
Mhm.
and he makes the effort. He comes back, he tracks back, whereas Johnson at 21, 22 doesn't, where you have much younger legs, significant amount more energy. So I can see why this guy comes under a little criticism if you don't work yourself like that. But in terms of Solanke, I'd like to see him score just for his own confidence because he's doing the work and I think he deserves a goal. That's why I wanted to see him score. I think
Yeah.
he truly deserves a goal. I want to see this kid really start lighting it up because I do see something in him that can be unleashed. It's just we just got to start getting the ball in there to him.
Yeah, I mean, Jimbo, you and me are both massive fans
Yeah,
of
thank
Solanke. I
Yeah.
wasn't particularly until he came to the club, and I've seen what he brings to the club. People criticise him for
Same.
not scoring, but I think we saw how much we miss him when he doesn't play. That presence that he's got going forward. Do you expect a big performance from him tonight against his old club?
Well, as long as his fitness levels are up, because I don't know, he must have had some sort of bug which can take it out of you. You know what it's like
Yeah.
when you have a bug; it can zap you a bit. So if his energy levels are back up, yeah, of course. Look, he gives his all every game, Kate, and how many games have we won by him winning the ball back? How many goals have we scored by him winning the ball back and bringing it back forward? You know, and look. I'll say it 1,000 times. I'm going to say it 1,001 times. It doesn't matter who scores, right? It doesn't matter if we haven't got a striker that's scoring 20, 30 goals a season because at Tottenham at the minute, the goals are coming from everywhere. So if they wasn't coming from everywhere, it would be an issue for me, right? But it's not an issue because we're getting goals from all over the pitch. We're the second highest goal scorers or the top highest goal scorers. So there's not a problem there. Why has it got to be Solanke scoring the goals? I want him to score because I've had a bet that he'll score 15 plus goals this season, right? So I want him to score. But you know, for me, as a team game, it doesn't matter to me. Are we top scorers? I think we are, aren't we?
We was. I don't know if we aren't now because of yesterday.
All right, but look,
Jose's on mute.
31.
I can't hear Jose.
Chelsea have now got 31 goals and we've got 28, but they played yesterday.
Okay.
look, see, so does it matter who scores the goals as long as we're scoring the goals? Does it have to be one player? No, it's better for me that it comes from all over the pitch because if you've got like Solanke, right, scoring say 70% of our goals and he gets injured, and then we're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's better that they come from everywhere. So for me, him not scoring is not an issue. He does enough. He does enough for it in a game for me to say, yeah, he's a big part of the squad.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Apparently, this is Ben Davies' 300 appearances at Spurs. Is it tonight?
Oh, he's going to score. He's going to score tonight.
Oh, hat trick.
Yeah, someone's put 300. Lily White India put it 300 appearances for Ben Davies. Again, I've got to big up this guy. He's gets so many pelters, but this season I can't think of when he's put a foot wrong. We've spoke about him, Jose, on the last couple of pump ups, I think. But again, against Fulham, against City, this guy he just seems to have a new lease of life under Postecoglou. I don't know what it is, but. Are you with Jim? Do you think he could mark his 300th appearance with a goal?
God, that would be going some, wouldn't it? I mean, that would be a part a win, 3 points. Ben Davies scoring a goal in the game as well. That would be a party and a festival in one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Ben Davies, as we keep saying, and we'll say it again, he's much maligned by a lot of people. Some people will turn around and say that, you know, trying to rebuild or recreate a new squad, that we've still got him and Sonny from the Poch days. And they're the only two that are left. But one of them has been playing out of his skin and the other one hasn't been turning up. And Ben Davies is the one that's been playing out of his skin. He's calm. He brings a calmness to our defence. I don't know what it is, but he brings a calmness to our defence. And Dragusin seems to be a lot calmer playing alongside him. And in all honesty, he seems to have calmed down a doggy as well. So from his talking, I mean, at the end of the day, people have got to realise what he's the Welsh international captain as well. You know, so he's not a mug at the end of the day. And like I said, he's not people's cups of tea, but he ain't half a good pro, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's always going to give you a 7 out of 10. You know, He doesn't do much wrong. He seems to do things at the right time. He's not the quickest person in the world, so we're led to believe, but makes last-ditch tackles, and he's always in the right place at the right time. At the end of the day, whilst we've got our two mainstays out from our centre halves, these two have done really, really well. I thought he did well last year when he played with Emerson at the back as well. When he had to step in and play with Emerson at the back. Again, I thought he played well last year as well. It must be pretty difficult for him as well. And it shows what a good pro he is, that he knows the gig, he knows the deal, that if Romero and Van der Ven are fit, he's not going to get a look into the team, right? Yeah. Depending on what other players you've got fit as well, he may not even make the bench because Dragusin will probably be preferred before him. Yet he just carries on, positive. The young players feed off him. Other pros at the club feed off him as well. There's no negativity that comes from him at all. He's just a proper pro, isn't he? So, yeah. Long may it continue tonight. If he gets a goal, we get the 3 points tonight. Then yes, it's party time. Party time.
Yeah, exactly. I was just reading. A lot of people were saying they've got a young guy in defence. That Dean Hussein that you were speaking about, Jose, he's only 18.
Yeah, his dad was Glenn Hussein, played for Liverpool, centre back for Liverpool. And I can't remember, Glenn Hussein is Swedish, right? Okay. So Glenn Hussein was Swedish, a Swedish international. He was also a centre half as well. And Dean was born, I think Dean was born while Glenn Hussein left Liverpool, went to play in Spain. And his son was born in Spain. And his son is now a Spanish international. He might only be 19 years old, but he ain't half a good centre half. So at the end of the day, when people say he's only 19,
Yeah.
Zabarnyi, who was at, I can't remember what Ukrainian club he was at, but everyone was looking to buy Zabarnyi. Even Tottenham were looking at Zabarnyi about 2 or 3 years ago, and we wanted to get him in when he's really young. I think Zabarnyi's only 2021 as well. So their two centre halves are really, really a young pairing.
I mean, Jose Mourinho said that Hussein is one of the highest quality prospects in European football at his age level. So they've obviously got high expectations. What I was going to say is everyone's saying they need to challenge this guy. He's only young. But if you're saying he's that good, maybe that's not going to be their weak spot.
He's a footballing centre. Can I say that Zabarnyi and Hussein are footballing centre halves? They like to play football. Yeah, they're not. I don't know what. I think bringing them to the Premiership, they're going to have to learn the up and at 'em type thing, like the clashing with strikers and stuff like that. But as for on the ball and stuff like that, as ball playing centre halves, they're really good. But it remains to be seen. And obviously, they're learning their trade at Bournemouth of how to add to their game because they are great footballing centre halves. So
yeah. Oh well, maybe he's not their weak spot then. But look, we're going to nearing the end of the show. Not quite there. We've got another 15 minutes, so we'll give it a couple of minutes before I ask for the score predictions. Jim, Madison, this is a big game for Madison, in my opinion. You've got Sarr and Basuma, but you've got Madders you're going to rely on for the creativity in midfield, linking up with Basuma or. Is this going to be one of those games? I mean, if he plays like he did against City, for me, we win this game easy. If Madison can pull out a performance like that, but he's another one who's not been consistent. Do you think he's going to shine tonight, Madders?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm very confident that he'll come out and play well tonight. Very confident.
I don't know why I ask you. It's if you're ever going to go, well, I'm a little bit worried that he won't.
No,
exactly.
I don't know why.
I could answer.
He's not been as bad. He's not been bad this season, Kate. He's had a couple of games where he's not shined. Right, Martin. He's had a couple of games he's not shined, but I think overall he's been decent this season. I mean, he took him off against Fulham. I'd never have took him off against Fulham.
He's got the captain's armband tonight.
Oh, Madison.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's the captain tonight.
Captain, yeah.
I was going to say, so that will add to his game tonight because it's going to be on his shoulders because he has to lead the team tonight.
Yeah.
Look, they know me already.
Paul knows you. Paul knows you. Paul knows me. I said when I did the Fulham pump up, I said if we don't beat Fulham, I'm going back to my negative predictions because they've been working. So he knows me.
look, I don't think Madison has been terrible, but I do think that he's shown he can do better because, I mean,
He's
how
got
good
5
was he?
goals, Kate. 5 goals and 3 assists in 11 games.
I know. Bobby, how confident are you that Madison and Kulu can be our big creators tonight? Another stupid question.
I think they'll do okay. Really? Come on. I like to see the two of them in the middle together. That's why when you guys did earlier in the show, we were talking about playing Kulu out wide. I personally prefer Johnson out wide if those are our options. I love Kulu in the middle. I think he just brings so much creativity. And Madison, the way he came in and ran in out of the midfield to pop those two in against Man City, I'm really hoping to see that life and that energy again. Just keep packing that box and blasting that ball in there, man. Simple. Like Jim said earlier, keep it simple, baby. Put that ball in their net and keep it out of ours. Easy peasy, baby.
Easy peasy. The thing is, even when he plays Kulu on the wing, Kulu moves. He's very fluid in his position and moves into midfield anyway. So, look, Sonny is on the bench.
Tracks back.
And he tracks back. I'll just read the bench out one more time. Austin, Porro, Spence, Reguilon, Bergvall, Werner, Son, Lancashire, Oluwasi. Did I say that right? Oluwasi, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yay, finally. I'm going to give my prediction first because no one really wants to hear my prediction at all because it's rubbish. But I have gone for Bournemouth 3, Tottenham 1. But that is a lot to do with superstitious reasons. Jim's been calling me a loser all day, walking around with an L on his head. Listen, when I was first on these pump-ups, every time I predicted a loss or a draw, we won. I've changed, started predicting wins, and then we lose. I predicted we'd lose to Man United, we won. I predicted we'd lose to Man City, we won. So I'm predicting we're going to lose to Bournemouth tonight. So that's mine out of the way. Jose, what's the score going to be, and who is going to score the goals? Make sure you put them in the chat as well, so I can read them out in a minute.
Right. So for me, my prediction was, and still is, Bournemouth 0, Tottenham 2. Energy, legs. I just feel that they're a team that will come and play against us. They're not going to be easy to beat. It might be that we win the game late. They're not going to be easy to beat. Man City found that out. Arsenal have found that out already. They're not going to be easy to beat. It might become later in the game, but it's about finding the spaces. We can find the spaces, then I think we can get the goals, even if they come late. Yeah. So for me, do you want goal scorers as well?
Yes, please.
I'm going to throw in. This is where I'm going to go off the wall here. I'm going to go with Madison again for me, and I'm going to go for Ben Davies.
Oh, yay. Please let that be true.
Although you know what, Dom Solanke, he might have something to say as well, though. Okay,
yeah,
I'll change it. I'll go Solanke and Davies.
Yes. Come on, Ben Davies. I'd love to see that. That would be amazing. Bobby K. Oh, make sure everyone goes over and subs to Jose as well. There's his link there, and it's pinned in the description as well. Bobby K, what do you fancy the score to be, and who do you think is scoring the goals?
Before I tell you about who's going to score the goals for us, I'll tell you about who's not going to score for Bournemouth, because you're going to see Foster stand up. That tall tree is going to move unbelievably. You saw him get down and make a couple of saves against Fulham. He showed us why he's still got a little something in the tank, and today he's going to get that clean sheet and make you all believers. Tomorrow you're going to all leave your house with leaves attached to you, dressed as trees in support of the big man. That's it, baby. The tree will lead us on. And because I want to make sure all the three guys I want to score get it in there, it's 3-0. We're going to give Kulu one. We're going to give Solanke one. And, of course, for his 300th game, I'm going with Jose because I love Jose. He's just too handsome. Benny boy, you got your goal for your 300th game.
I felt absolutely sure there, Bobby, after that speech that you were going to predict Fraser Forster to score. I thought
there's a certain level to my delusion, okay, Kate?
Someone's just put in the chat, Fulham have just gone 1-0 up against Brighton. Alex Iwobi, who I have to say I think is a sensational player and think he could do a fantastic job at Spurs. I'm just saying, I know he's an ex-Gooner, but I'm still going to say it anyway. KPV, big up to you, says 3-0 Spurs. Hayley Davis saying 3-1 Spurs. The World of Football is saying Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 1, sadly. Semenyo to get 2 and Kulu to get 1. Paulio is saying 2-0 to Spurs. 4-2 to Spurs. Benny can't play. He's suspended.
Davies.
Benny Davies. Cool. So I'm thinking of Benny Bentancur. Do you know what? I'd love it if Davies scores. Dominic Solanke to get 2 and Johnson to get 1. 5-0. Dominic hat-trick, but he won't celebrate. That's all right. We'll celebrate for him.
I think I want to go watch the game at Human Beings House. I like that. That's the kind of score I want to see.
Chance says he thinks that Sarr will score tonight.
That'd be nice.
Dan Gay says 2-1 Spurs on a cold, wet, windy night. Yeah, it's vile.
Dan, you and your realism.
Denzel's saying a Desmond. 2-1 loss. Who's this? Gary says we'll lose pathetically and give social media a reason to lose its marble. I don't think they ever really need a reason. It just happens. Martin saying 3-0 to Spurs.
Yes, Martin.
Spurs win by 4-2, says Nashon. Random says 2-2 draw. The meltdown will be monumental if we do lose. 2-1 says RO.
Why would you even say that?
Well, Graham says 4-2 Spurs. Can you just imagine, though? Can you? I'm just saying.
No, I don't want to. No, I can't. And no, I don't want to. No, stop it. Stop it. Jim,
what's this? You know what? A goal is going to come after those Van der Ven runs. Mark my words and don't doubt my dreams. Except Van der Ven isn't playing. But I'm loving it anyway. Jimbo.
Well, I've kind of changed my mind about 3 times in my head with the score because there's a pump up and it pumps me up. I get fucking pumped. I'm sorry, but I do. So I had 3-1 and then I changed it to 3-0. Then I changed it to 4-0 and now I'm going to go 4-1. And there's someone in the chat, I don't know who it was, has said it's a bold prediction. You're going to keep a clean sheet at Bournemouth. Yeah. So I think he's right. I can't remember who said it. But it was a good call.
Yeah, they did. I saw that.
So I'm going to give them a goal, and I'm going to go the 3-1's out the window. I'm going to go 4-1. 4-1 Spurs.
And who's scoring?
We're going to have Solanke's going to score a brace against his old club, and I've got to go with Benny on his 300 games. I've got to. It's written in the stars for him to bang one in from a corner, right? And I'm going to go with my last one. I think that we'll be 3-1 up and they'll bring Sonny on and he'll score 1. If they don't bring Sonny on, I'm going to give it to Johnson. But I think if Sonny comes on, he'll score.
Okay.
4-1.
Yeah, Liam agrees with you. Said he's expecting Biff 4-1. Big up Ian Ferguson said it's not a cold, rainy night in Stoke, but the Spurs will win 3-1. Going to be a tough game, I reckon. 3-1 to the boys. 2-1 Spurs. Spurs 4-0. Kulu ties Davies.
Go on, that's it. Yes.
5-2 says Jamie. Brennan, Kulu, and Dom to get 2.
Oh, that'd be a great game to watch if it is 5-2.
All of you predicting these big score lines, I swear, I want to find a place that all of us could just get together and watch the game with this positivity. I love it. Love it.
Yes. Yes. Spurs 7-0 to Spurs. Ange masterclass. Yes. 3-1 says Waldrog, Sarr, Kulu, Solanke. Desmond says 1 down and his boot. Gary Beck says, but trust guys, Ange is the man before the man. What he's doing will shape the future. Okay.
You got 2 guys right here, 100% agree. I don't know.
Anyone with a picture of Burt Reynolds as his picture has got my vote. The legend.
Bournemouth 3, Spurs 2, says Derek Hutchinson.
2-3
Spurs win. Kulu, Solanke, Dragusin to get 1. I hate it when players apologise on social media after they play crap. So fake, prescriptive, they sound like robots. There we go.
True.
2-2, a lot of 2-2s actually. The them stars are saying a lot, Jimbo. 3-2 Johnson with a brace. 3-1 Solanke, Madison, Johnson. 3-2 Solanke with a stoppage time header. I like it.
I'll take it.
When we win big. Otherwise, we lose by a goal. Sadly, I'm expecting a 2-1 loss.
Jason,
come on, man.
Jason, no. Come back to our side, man. Get out of the dark side.
1-0 early goal and nearly dead by the end of the game. Poise from California. Big up to you.
There you go.
2-1 Spurs. I am going to go, I've said my prediction, but for my goal, I'm going to go Solanke. But I hate to say it, I think Evan Nielsen is going to have a worldy game tonight. But we'll see.
Let me ask you a question.
Who, me?
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. You give your score as a 3-1 loss, right? Because with the way it works out when you give predictions, is that score in your heart?
No, in my heart, I always think we're going to beat everyone. But I talk with my head, not my heart.
So it's in your head that we will lose.
No, if I had to give it a score prediction, it wouldn't be a loss. But I can't say it, Jim, because of the juju and all this stuff that's going on.
Yeah, but somebody already said earlier in the chat, you can't announce your juju.
Oh. Well, I would have.
So you it's like telling somebody your birthday wish and expecting it to come true. So
see,
now you've double shagged us.
I said 3-1 at the start of the week.
I want to make sure the English people in the chat understand where I'm going.
I think that's a word. I think I was asked at the beginning of the week. We'd just drawn to Fulham. I was feeling very, very dejected, Jim. You know, I was really gutted. Looking at the teams now, if I had to have, someone said to me, "You've got to have a bet on a score," I would do 2-2. But in my heart, I think we're going to win 6-0.
Our 2 away victories this season, where we've played really well, have both been to 0.
Mash.
4-0
and 3-0. 4-0 and 3-0. We beat Man United 3-0. Yeah. So they were both to 0. And I've always loved the clean sheet. Even when I played football, it was always about clean sheets. Even though I didn't play in defence, but it was always about a clean sheet. As a team, you didn't want to concede any goals. That's why I always tend to go for a 0 in my scoreline. Don't often come off with Tottenham. But that's why my 0's there.
This makes me sad, and it's frightening that it's actually something that could well happen. Spurs to lose 3-2 after leading 2-0.
No,
it's like Brighton all over again.
Oh, yeah, I told you, Kate. Stop it. That happened to us once this season. It won't happen twice.
Adrian says 2-0 Spurs, Decky and Solanke. We will batter the cherries and have a great time. If we win, I'm going to have a big slice of cherry pie and custard tomorrow. That's for sure. Listen, Jimbo, thank you for coming on as always. Bobby K,
thank you for having me.
Absolute legend. Thank you for coming on. And Jose, who's got knowledge that I could only dream of about these footballers, always comes with all the knowledge. Makes me look stupid by his
imagine how stupid I feel. That's why I like when he comes.
That's why it's the awesome foursome, you see. You know, because we all.
I thought it was Fabulous Four, no?
Oh, Fabulous Four, Fantastic Four, whatever you want to call us.
So we're a winning team tonight, then, yeah.
Yeah, we're the perfect match.
When we're together, amigo.
That's it. We're a winning team.
We are. Make sure
that's been positive as well. So cheers, everybody in the chat. Hope you hit that like button. Chat will get mad. Nope.
No, I don't think we have.
No, not when the 4 of us. No.
No.
The one loss I have is when Jose wasn't here.
Yeah.
Jose wasn't on that show, so it doesn't count.
We've still only got 158 likes, which isn't good enough. There's still over 500 here, so please smash a like for Bennett. Stay with the channel. Why do you not
like? I can understand, you guys not hitting the like button because of Kate's constant negativity, but the 3 of us have been trying to pump you guys up and stay as positive as we can. Guys, we're giving you big score lines here. We're giving you big scores. I got behind the damn tree. I'm sitting here saying the tree is going to get a shutout. The guy that can't move. I could probably move better than that, but I still have faith in him. Because he's wearing the badge today, and he's wearing this person like Jim would say, when you've got that badge on, you're the best in the world. This is the greatest football team in the world, and we can smash anybody on any day. Tell him how it is, Jimbo.
Of course we can. We're the mighty Spurs.
Who are we, Jim?
The mighty Spurs.
One more time, Jim.
The mighty Spurs.
Tell your wife, Jim.
the mighty Spurs, Katie.
Let her know.
Okay, we are the mighty Spurs. We can beat anyone, anytime, anywhere. Everyone, enjoy the game. Ben, I think it's Ben and Sim doing the watch along tonight. So stay tuned. That will start in about 13 minutes. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Any catchphrase or anything you want to leave with, Jose?
No, I was just going to say thank you to everyone that's watched us tonight. I hope that everyone's blessed and healthy. Enjoy the game tonight. Let's get the 3 points, everyone, in the chat. And for me, it's come on, you Spurs. And in the big Ange, I trust.
I like it. Bobby K, any final words?
I don't have a catchphrase, but what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start coming up with something new for the end of every single show, because it's kind of hard to try to get to the level Jim can when he ends a show. But I'm going to make an attempt here. All I'm going to say is, for those of you out there, remember how great it is when you're young and how wonderful it is, that feeling to pop a cherry. So let's have that feeling again today. We pop a lot of cherries, baby. Come on, Tottenham!
I love it. Everyone enjoy the game. Come on, you Spurs. Jimbo, finish the show as only you can.
6 points incoming. On Monday morning, you'll all be laughing when we've got 6 points in the bag and we're right up there in the top 4. Come on, you Spurs.